I'll call the meeting of the Finance and Property Committee to order at this time. My name is James Stack. I am currently chairman of the committee. On my left is Terry Terry Dolan. Don't even know my own committee. I apologize. I apologize.
That's a mercy.
Okay, and, well, I've told Shane, where did I put mine? I know I have. There it is, okay. My apologies, everyone. We'll call the meeting of the Finance and Property Committee to order with Terry Dolan, secretary, and myself, and Chad Roll is excused tonight. The second item of business is special beer license applications, and they were filed by the Central Wisconsin Cultural Center for an Art on Tap event to be held August 5th at 240 Johnson Street. And the application is here, and there was no questions. Our Lady Queen of Heaven Parish for a parish picnic to be held August 24th at 750 10th Avenue South. The Heart of Wisconsin Chamber of Commerce for a neighborhood block party to be held July 24th at 645 25th Avenue North. That was all that we had for special beer applications. Okay. Typically, as they've taken them one at a time, or
I believe so.
Yeah.
Sue, we should do one at a time?
Sure.
Okay, all right then. I move that the special beer application, beer license application filed by Central Wisconsin Cultural Center be approved.
Second.
Okay, motion second to approve. Any discussion? Okay. I would motion that the special beer license application filed by Our Lady Queen of Heaven Parish for a parish picnic to be held August 24th be approved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any discussion? And I would motion that the special beer license application filed by Heart of Wisconsin Chamber of Commerce for a neighborhood block party to be held July 24th at 645 25th Avenue North be approved.
I second.
Okay, motion made to second. Motion and made and seconded. Is there any questions or any discussion? Okay, move to approve. Absolutely.
Are there street closures for that one?
I don't. It's gonna be at the WFH,
In the parking lot.
WFHR.
Next item of business is an application for a Class A liquor and beer license filed by Crayosha Incorporated, our Battelle agent, for the premise located at 2131 8th Street South. And the gentlemen are here. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. Now, this is a change from ownership here.
Correct.
Okay.
They're purchasing the business there and applying for the license.
Okay. Was there any questions that were brought up by anyone as they went through the process here at City Hall?
Everything went smooth.
Okay. Terry, you'd like to make a motion?
I move that we accept the application for Class A liquor and beer license for 2131 8th Street South at Crayosha.
Okay. Motion made, I'll second it. Motion made and seconded to approve the application for a Class A liquor and beer license. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. All right, gentlemen, you're all set?
Can we go now?
Yes, you may.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
Have a good evening. All right. All right, the next item is item number 4. It's a request from Krista Kuhn on behalf of the Heart of Wisconsin Chamber of Commerce for approval of a special events application for the 14th annual Downtown Grand Affair on September 7th from 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. to include vending and closures of the following street. And you had a adjustment, corrected.
Yep.
I guess we're gonna cross off number 2 and number 8.
Cross off number, so we're gonna remove 2 and 8 from the
Which is-
request.
You have the Grand Avenue closing Grand Avenue from Third Avenue to Fourth Avenue. And then number 8 is to close Third Avenue, the intersection there, which states to be barricaded but not blocked by vendors.
Okay,
I guess talk with the police department, we thought it was thought to be better to leave Third Avenue open. And then, because it's a main through.
right,
And then we're talking with Krista that to extend Second Street, where it says, number 7, Second Street from Birch to Grand Avenue, down a couple of blocks to accommodate the removal of that Grand Avenue between Third and Fourth Avenue. So I'd say like, probably Walnut Street, Birch to Walnut.
Yeah, we're just starting to run out of space, so we're trying to
I mean,
figure out what way to
yeah,
Sure.
make it over.
Walnuts.
yeah, Walnut to Branch,
Walnut
correct.
to Grand.
correct. So Birch, you'll go, instead of Birch to Grand, you'll go Walnut to Grand.
Correct.
Okay.
They're growing. They're growing.
All right. Is there any other things that we need to know about for that?
No, if it's the same as, this is the 14th year.
Yep.
See, it's pretty much the same, the kids, ear blow-ups again, and the downtown tours with Bill Brown and food, vending, car show,
Okay,
music.
all right, okay. All right, then. I'd make a motion to grant the request from Krista Kuhn on behalf of the Heart of Wisconsin Chamber of Commerce for approval of a special events application. Is there a second?
A second?
Motion made and seconded to approve the request. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, motion. I'm sorry, I'm just forgetting the rhyme and reason for this. The motion is approved. Thank you. I apologize. Folks at home are gonna have fun with this one. Item 5 is a request from Sally Wiley of the Labor Day Committee for approval of a special events application for the Labor Day celebration on September 1st from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. at Robinson Park to include vending and special beer license. Is there someone here for that?
I do.
Okay, and you are?
Jay Benke,
Okay, yes,
Central Labor Council.
right,
It's the same event we've had for the last probably 12 years. Not
okay,
much is changing.
all right. Is there a motion to approve the request?
I motion that we approve the request from the Labor Day Committee.
Okay, and I'll second that. Is there any discussion? Motion is made and seconded then to approve the request for the Labor Day Committee for their special events application. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome, Dick.
Thank
Knew you, just couldn't think of the name. All right, item number 6 is a request for Amber Malinsky, Wood County Breastfeeding Coalition, for approval of a special events application for a 5K for breastfeeding on August 13th from 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. to include street closure of First Avenue South from Johnson Street to 3rd Avenue South. Anyone here for that?
Amanda emailed me yesterday, which I forgot to tell you, that she had a prior commitment and was unable to make tonight.
All right,
This event's the same one that's been, I think, the last 2 years,
couple of years they've been
Yeah.
doing this, haven't they?
and nothing has changed.
All right. I'll make a motion to approve the request from Amber for the approval of the special events application. Is there a second?
I second.
Motion made and seconded to approve the request. Is there any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Okay. Item number 7 is a request from Chris Statz, Central Wisconsin BMX Club, for approval of a special events application for September 5 through 7, 2014, for Badger State National BMX. A request that the East Side compost site be closed on Saturday, September 6, 2014. Is Chris here? No one here for that? Oh. Okay. Any correspondence from anyone besides the application that we've had? Review. Any concerns?
Just a couple of years ago, were awarded the bid, I guess, for the National BMX. I don't think it was last year, but the year before, and I think the only issue that probably came up was maybe closing the compost site, but it seemed to go off no problem.
Yeah.
If I remember, I think there was no real issue or anything with that.
That time of the year, the compost site isn't as needed as it is like right now, because everybody's grass is growing, but
I think they use it for overflow parking, if I recall right.
Yeah, they want to close it for parking, so.
Right, okay. And then the west side would be open with the.
west side's still open, yeah.
So
We could put
okay,
we
so
could
they
put a
could-
warning sign out a couple weeks ahead of time, so people
Okay.
might see it and know it's gonna be closed that coming Saturday.
All right. Any other comments on this?
So this is a first for them? or-
I think it's the
No.
second time they got the
They have
national bid.
twice?
Mhm.
Yep.
It's a pretty big event though.
Yeah.
I know they have park across the street in the Home Depot over there in the grass area.
Okay.
I remember them receiving that, that was an honor. So, I'll make a motion then to grant the request from Chris Stats for the special events application and for the closing of the East Side compost site on Saturday, September 6th. Is there a second?
I second.
Motion made and seconded to approve the request. Any discussion? Being none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you. Okay. Item number 8 is a request from Pete from Police Showers, owner of Johnny's Rapid Inn, 2610 8th Street South, for a 3-day premise extension to include the area west of their building to the westerly property line and the north-south property lines on July 19th from 9 p.m. to July 20th at 2:30 a.m. and July 20th from 9 a.m. to July 21st at 2:30 p.m. for a water ski weekend event. That's the week when the Ski Association is doing their regular annual water ski.
Correct.
Is someone here for,
Yes, sir.
you are
Mr. Preston Sites?
Preston?
Yep.
Okay. And is there anything else you can add to the request?
No, we've, it's the same event that's been probably 7 years now.
Yep.
In compliance with the police department, fire department. So we've got everything in line. Porta potties for that amount of people.
Okay.
So just to extend the liquor license to the perimeter of the parking lot, I guess.
Okay. Attorney Schill, any questions?
No, I think the police department was asked if there were any concerns.
but There hasn't been, there wasn't issues, and you bring in extra security.
Yep.
They also bring in extra security to make sure there's no problems.
Okay. I'll make a motion then that we grant the request of Peter Bleashower, owner of Johnny's Rapids Inn, for the 3-day premise extension for their activity on July 19th from 9 p.m. to July 20th at 2:30 p.m. and July 20th from 9 p.m. to July 21st at 2:30 a.m. Is there a second?
A second.
Motion made and second to approve the request. Is there any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None. Motion passes.
Thank
Okay, you're all set. Thank you. Yeah. All right. Item number 10 is a request from the Elks Club to purchase a portion of parcel 34-02521, part of the city's plan to make accommodations to sell some property that it has, I take it? Adam?
Yeah, I guess
Is
I
there
can
someone-
start.
You okay? And you are?
Ron Bone,
Ron Moe, thank you.
trustee.
Okay.
Actually, Elks Club approached us on this.
Okay.
They were looking at doing some renovations to their entryway, which apparently is good timing since someone decided that they want to take out that entrance recently, so that's why it's boarded up currently.
Okay.
So basically what they're proposing to do is if you look at the aerial total, they're proposing to purchase the property between the building and the sidewalk of the parking lot. So it's a relatively small piece of property. I think it's 20 feet wide at the most, at its widest point. We did consult with the assessment office to try and get a rough estimate. It's hard to put a value on something
Yes.
like this. It's not buildable on its own. So I think we had proposed to them $1,500, and they came back and said, we'll do $1,000 and pay for the CSM to split the property.
Okay,
City staff felt that was appropriate at this time, so our recommendation is to sell it to the Elks Club for $1,000 with them paying for the CSM.
all right, and that is the, having a map done that outlines the properties of parties involved.
Exactly, we combined the new purchase with their existing property so that it would be buildable for their inventory.
All right. Attorney Schill, any comments?
No.
Okay. Anyone else? Ron?
Well, we just wanna get the front of the building looking better.
Yep, understand.
And right now, the property line is about 1.5 feet from the existing building.
Sure.
In order to do anything with a entryway, a covered entryway, we need to purchase more.
All right, sounds fine. All right. Is there a motion to approve the request?
A motion that we approve the request of the Elks Club to purchase a portion of parcel 34-12521.
All right, I would second that request. Any other comments?
Just a question,
Yes.
were they paying for the CSM? Or was it
Yes.
half? Okay, I just wanna make sure I had it right in the motion.
Okay. All set?
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. That being moved and seconded, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? That motion passes, so you're all set.
Thank you.
And city staff will be with you to iron out the details.
It'll go to the full council on Monday, next Tuesday. It'll go to the full city council.
Okay.
Right. And I have to apologize, I missed number 9 for Mr. Eichstead. I apologize. Item 9 is a request from Dave Laspa, city engineer. We're up to $50,000 in additional funding to repair the concrete pavement blow-ups that we've had this year.
I'm here for that subject too.
All right.
We did extensive work on the expressway between 12th and 16th Street, and then also on the expressway between 2nd Avenue and West Grand.
Right.
Much of that was necessitated by the winter we had and the fact that our older partial depth patches failed, and we had some other normal potholes that just wouldn't stay in anymore. So we went ahead and spent extra dollars on concrete pavement patching. And we have enough money to fund the work we did, we just don't have enough to cover any blow-ups that might occur from heat the rest of this year.
All right.
We've got 2 blow-ups now, and I think Dave's breakdown, and Joe can explain the numbers to you here, but they're between $6,000 and $7,000 left in money for concrete pavement repair. Probably won't fix more than 1 blow-up. So we're looking for up to $50,000 in additional funding to do any foreseeable work that we are going to have to do this year.
Okay. And I had a person express to me a concern about a spot, and this would be for Joe, at the intersection of Chestnut and 8th Street, the northbound inside lane. There's a,
The panel that's raised there,
right,
that was a repair done several years ago, and
Oh.
for some reason it just keeps getting pushed up out of the ground a little bit.
okay,
We're aware of it, we just haven't gotten to it yet.
I understand, okay, thank you. All right, Joe, do you have anything else to add at this time?
Just to, I guess, reiterate a little bit of what Jimmy says. We always allocate 50,000 for these late summer blow-ups.
Mm-hmm.
Most of that is spent at this point due to the harsh winter, but the $6,200 or $6,300 that we have left, and then whatever we would need up to 50,000 for anything else that might come up to fix these 2 that are currently outstanding, I guess.
Okay, either the one on 8th Street and County Trunk W?
Correct.
Okay, those are outstanding to be done, okay? All right. Now, I don't see Tim, but did Tim have any concerns, express anything? Mayor, anything?
Well, we discussed a little bit leading up to this too, taking a look at the overall system to see to what extent do we want to be proactive with some of these pieces, and that's kind of what brought to the meeting today, was to be proactive with some of the blow-ups that were cold makes, right? That was kind of the previous, that they wouldn't probably last throughout the summer, and so the probably kind of arrived at the conclusion that if we're gonna be a little bit more proactive, we shouldn't just spend down into a deficit in the account. We should be proactive to up to 50,000 as kind of what we projected throughout the rest of the summer. So that is kind of the conversation Tim and I and the rest of the staff had on the subject. So I think, there really isn't anything else to add, and we just hope that, this is enough to cover what we've got coming for the summer, and we're halfway through, conceivably halfway through the heat for the summer, but we'll see.
Right.
But given the age of the system overall, to what extent do we want to keep sinking the hundreds of thousands of dollars into pavement patching when you've got almost the whole system, at some point, you're gonna have almost all new pavement patches and not even a new reconstruct, so just patches, so. It's kind of further reasoning for us to go to the DOT and really start getting some dates from them on the calendar about reconstructs on some of these main arterials. Because for them to just keep kicking the can to us and saying, it's your responsibility to keep patching it,
Right.
isn't a long-term sustainable solution. So I think that's something that just want to bring to the committee as we start thinking reconstruction at some level, just put pressure on the DOT to realize the full extent of what this is costing.
All right. Okay, thank you, Mayor. And Jim and Joe. All right. The request then from Dave Glaspa, city engineer, for up to $50,000 in additional funding to repair concrete pavement blowups. I move to approve the request. Is there a second?
I second.
Motion made and seconded to approve the request. Is there any further discussion by anyone? All in favor, then say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, the motion is approved. Victor, and you're welcome, and Ron, you can, I'm sorry, you can go ahead. All right.
See you soon.
Okay. Thank you all. Now, number 11, Jim, there he is. Okay. Now, number 11 is a request from Jim Neitzel, wastewater treatment plant superintendent, to purchase a dry polymer skid. And first of all, what is a dry polymer? What is it used for?
Well, you put polymer in with sludge to thicken it up.
Okay,
The polymer actually has, it's called cation or ion, which is negative or positive charged filaments that make the sludge attract to it. Presently, we have a liquid polymer system, and it's become real expensive. And the best polymer that we found is still really expensive. So I had a vendor come in, and he started bench testing in the lab dry polymers, and then he found one that worked much better than what we're using now. And the liquid polymer comes in a big tote, 400-gallon tote.
okay,
The dry polymer just comes in a bag. So the polymer machine actually takes the polymer, mixes it with water into a liquid polymer, then it gets injected into the sludge and then the machine that processes it.
okay, and what's occurring in this process? What's happening to the sludge? Is that what is made
Well,
available?
you're getting rid of the water,
Okay, so
because the sludge it's all suspended. It goes into the machine at about 5% solids.
okay,
And after you mix the polymer with it, and it goes through the machine, it comes out about 18-19% solids. So it comes out like a wet sand,
okay,
and then that gets hauled out to the drying bed
okay,
for further
right,
drying.
okay. And so dry versus wet is an improvement in cost to you as a,
Well, we found, the polymer that we found will save us about $20,000 a year. And what I did is I rented after they bench tested it, found a company that would rent me a dry polymer skid, and I did a real test. I wasn't
okay,
gonna come to the committee or anybody else without making sure that this really actually worked with the equipment. The one we have now that we're renting is too small. We could know, it's not big enough, but it works good enough for testing.
Okay, it gives you an idea of what will occur.
Right.
Okay,
And we've been running dry polymer for several months and got a lot of data and feel it's worth it. We can save money, there's a return on investment.
okay. All right. I see the staff recommendation was to approve of the XL feeders, dry polymer skid. So if they're located in New Jersey, down the road from where I used to live.
Yeah, and I did ask, the two vendors that I was considering for references and, the Excel feeders, I've got several references from him, and then I talked to the vendor who's selling us polymer, he knows the guy and said he's a straight shooter and
Okay,
a good vendor, so.
all right. So the machine will come from one and the polymer comes from another party.
Right.
Okay. Is there any comments by anyone here? Yes, Mayor.
I've got a couple questions. So we're shooting for what, a 3-year payback on it?
Well,
It's a $60,000
the
item.
Excel feeders is actually 44, 340.
The one they recommended was.
You don't have the,
Oh, I'm looking at the back page of the,
here,
The one they recommended was
there we go. That's what I'm looking at. Let me see, I saw that.
behind the
So 2.5 year, or 2 year payback essentially.
And-
And do you feel that, maybe a question for Joe too, do you feel that if there's any change in the process with the VFA issue, that the location of drop of polymer will be affected by this? And would they, if we explore that solution a little bit further, the location of where the polymer gets applied wouldn't change, right? That's the question I guess I'm asking.
no.
Applying it at the plant continuous, that's,
The type of polymer might
okay.
change, once the makeup of the wastewater changes. But the
Well, this is-
location would-
This is actually on the, the machine is on the digested sludge, so the VFAs aren't a factor, they're gone.
Mhm.
I mean, it's the rotary drum thickeners, which we're gonna test next,
Mhm.
where the VFAs are really causing the problems.
Okay, I just am concerned about going down that rabbit hole, and we've made this investment, we realize that
Oh, and it
the next
turns out,
one, something else,
Yeah.
yeah. And I realize we've got some other headwinds to deal with on that front, but I just wanna make sure that this is the right purchase today.
Yes.
And we're not gonna have a better purchase.
yeah, the
Couple years
VFAs
from
aren't, yeah, the VFAs aren't gonna change the sludge, but I do plan on taking if this is approved and we're gonna purchase the new skid, then I'm gonna have them switch the rental skid to the rotary drum thickeners and have them test that and see if we can come up with something there too.
So you look for this to take care of one problem, but you still have another one that you're working on, VFA is.
Right.
Unrelated, but I asked because it's related to wastewater, so for
Okay.
pursuing the improvements on this in this budget cycle, there's going to be others. I just wanna make sure that from a priority standpoint, we're dealing with the highest priority first. And it's hard to
Well, it's the
tell what our
lowest
solution is.
lowest hanging fruit is
Yeah,
what it is
right, yeah, and I
now.
don't agree with, I fully agree with you on that, yeah, I don't disagree.
But, yeah, we've got other problems that we're gonna work on too, to try and save more money.
All right, okay. Any other questions?
The payback of this item will help us pay for some of the other stuff long-term too. I mean, if
There
there's,
you go.
think about it in that respect.
There's always something. All right. Then I would make a motion to approve the request from Jim Nightsall, wastewater treatment plant superintendent, to purchase a dry polymer skid. Is there a second?
I second.
A motion has been made second to grant the request to the plant to purchase the dry polymer skid. The cost is, as shown in the document, is $44,340. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Now we have from, I believe this is from Tim, we have a resolution,
Oh, I didn't, may have, but I didn't.
and the purpose of the resolution is to amend the
Yeah, okay.
2014 wastewater commission budget to purchase a dry polymer skid. This is item number 12.
We're on the same page.
Yes. And this City of Wisconsin Rapids resolution reads, whereas the amount and cost of liquid polymer used in the wastewater treatment process has escalated over the past number of years, whereas in an effort to bring the polymer cost under control, a test pilot program utilizing dry polymer instead of liquid polymer has resulted in an estimated annual savings of $20,000. Whereas to fully implement the new dry polymer process, a dry polymer skid must be purchased. However, the funds to purchase the new dry polymer skid were not included in the 2014 sewer utility fund budget. In order to begin realizing the annualized savings of the new process, it is recommended that the funds in the sewer utility fund reserves be utilized to fund the purchase of the dry polymer skid. Now therefore be resolved by a 2/3 vote of the Common Council of the City of Wisconsin Rapids that the 2014 sewer utility fund budget be amended as follows. The revenue and fund balance applied, a change of $44,340. Expenditures, wastewater outlay is a change of $44,340, otherwise offsetting each other. Be it further resolved that the city clerk is hereby directed to publish a Class 1 notice of this resolution in the city's official newspaper within 10 days of adoption by the Common Council. Is there any question? City Attorney Schill, any thoughts?
No.
Okay,
Looks good to me.
all right. I move therefore that we adopt the resolution. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made and seconded to approve the resolution amending the 2014 wastewater commission budget to purchase the dry polymer skid. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Beverage?
Thank you, committee.
You're welcome, Mr. Neitzel. Have a good evening. And I just note that I looked at the place up on the map and it's down the road from where I grew up.
Okay.
The beverage operator license applications, we were through those. There were no, or excuse me, we have these are the beverage application licenses. The chief had no questions, and it would be, we could make a motion to approve them.
A motion that we approve the beverage operator license applications.
And so I second it. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay, now, we're gonna go into closed session. This is item 14A. In open session, the committee will vote to go into closed session under section 19.85, parent 1, parent E of the Wisconsin statutes, which reads, deliberating or negotiating the purchasing of public properties, the investing of public funds, or conducting other specified public business whenever competitive or bargaining reasons require a closed session. In closed session, the committee will discuss with city staff the strategy and negotiation parameters to be used in the acquisition of certain properties for development. Any final action for the approval of the purchase of any parcel of property will be brought back to the committee. The committee may take action or make recommendations on item B in closed session, or may adjourn in closed session, or may return to open session and may take action or make recommendations on item B. Is there a motion to go into closed session?
A motion that we go into closed session.
I second it. Motion made, seconded. Any discussion? Will someone talk with